deficiencies. It's not a joke, but it's not accurate. See, the thing is, there's people, I don't know how to, I'm trying to reframe this in a polite, positive, loving way. There's so many people in the world, including Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Perry and Jay Shetty and many, many, many names out there. But it's not about name dropping and calling people out and correcting people. It's about giving some insights and some other perspectives on my thoughts on early childhood trauma and inner child problems. And this is going to be deep. Okay, so I talk like this with my children and my family, and I'm going to be discussing rape and molestation. If you don't want children to be around, let them go. And if you're uncomfortable, you don't have to watch this. My son will be joining, but I'm going to be, not contradicting, but I want to talk about this. Okay, so for example, this is the discussion. There's people out there saying, between the ages of 0 and 6 years old, you have to develop the mind of a child, which I firmly believe in. But the way they're framing it, they're saying, you gotta have that love, that harmony, that protection, that inner peace, that joy. Yes, from 0 to 6, otherwise you're screwing them up. They're gonna be messed up their entire life. But how is it that they became how they became? The people who have been suffering, the people who have been raped and molested and homeless, the children that have gone through turmoil, pain, and suffering in life, and now that they're adults, how have they converted their lives to where they are today? That's my point, right? So if we just start implementing and taking this wisdom and this knowledge and start applying it to children from 0 to 6 years old, like, oh baby, it's okay, I love you, and comforting, that's fine. Yeah, you gotta be a chameleon style parent and provide I believe I provide the suffering, the pain, the turmoil, the heartache, the love, the opportunities, the affirmations, the manifestation, all of it integrated into parenting in order to develop my children. Through pain and suffering, we can learn, and through wisdom, knowledge, and education, we can learn. There are children out there that are being raised correctly and loving and kind, and no hitting, no slapping, and just, and that's fine. But when you see that being reciprocated into the world, you see them being babyish, childish, not fully developed, not mindful and aware. They're not paying attention. Like, for example, I'm taking him to soccer, and you can see the parenting and the children, and you can see, how it has caused and affected the 6-year-old, the 5-year-old, the 7-year-old. So what I'm just trying to say is, it's not necessarily true that you have to baby your children and comfort and love them. Sometimes it is okay to put your child through that discomfort. You got to teach them through the lessons we've learned growing up as a child, through our lessons and pain and suffering, through the love and wisdom, and implement it early on in conjunction with our parenting, because then they will know the difference, how to perceive. There's different ways to observe and absorb life. There's different teachings I give my son where I say, observe, but don't absorb. And there's times I say, what I'm teaching you right now, what I'm doing for you right now, I want you to observe and absorb. The difference is you can observe, right, and not want to obtain those traits. Yeah. Say from your parents, they're arguing and fighting and yelling. Observe. and decipher how you want to be a better version of yourself, a better version of your own parents, be a better version in life, and not absorb. Okay, so I teach him through the pain and suffering. But then when there's discipline, when you're cooking and cleaning, learning how to make breakfast for yourself, taking care of your sister, changing her diaper, giving her a bath, being a wise spiritual being at this age, developing a mindset of a 15-year-old into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old kid, you have to say, observe and absorb what I'm teaching you. And that's how you can unfold this brilliance in children. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are like, kind of like, today, my dad, he took me to soccer. We were all getting ready, prepared. I put my jersey on and everything. And I saw so many kids, all kids, also every single group, every single group of them, also my team, they were all messing around except me. And
because I told you not to be a follower, be a leader.
Yeah.
Right?
Be a leader. Don't copy people. Be a leader and guide them.
Okay. So it's okay. They're there to have fun. They're there, some parents just enroll them to, see how they like it and stuff like that. That's okay. Parents who don't want their kid to be disciplined, that's okay. It's not about that. It's basically what I'm trying to explain in this talk is I'm watching podcasts and documentaries and all these lectures and professors talking about trauma. They've been traumatized growing up. They dealt with it. They've helped so many people out there starting to understand about PTSD, confidence, and becoming self-aware, and the childhood, inner child problems. And I have a different approach to that. I get that, yes, we've all gone through our suffering, but I'm not gonna not allow you to go through some suffering. I'm gonna allow it. And then I'm gonna coach you, mentor you, teach you, develop your mind. So in fact, I actually want to say that now it's not there's no limitation to 0 to 6 years old. The paradigms aren't stuck with you, and you don't frame who you're gonna be from that limitation. You can actually reprogram your mind at any freaking age. An old dog can learn new tricks, and it is something that I do. I work on myself, other adults and children, and it is possible. We can fix it with the right help. And I know that these people have the best interests and are trying to help families that pick up their books and read their books so they understand how to raise children. But I'm saying, if your child is far gone and you don't know how to approach or help your own children the right way, and you're watching podcasts and listening to this and learning, don't beat yourself up. Have talks. Talk to your child like a grown-up, and sit there man to man, or father to daughter, or mother to daughter, or mother to son, and have a professional, mature, direct conversation, and build this confidence, this literacy, this dialogue, this mental programming into children at this age. Speak to them the way we watch podcasts, the dialogue, the language we listen to, we watch as adults. Speak to your kid the same way. Get them in front of the TV. It's okay. Like I've got him, I always say, do you want to learn through life now, or through mistakes and failures that you're going to have to go through later, or do you want to learn through the past mistakes of other people, or learn quicker now, right? Or just, just keep making mistakes and learning on your own, which is good. But if you can fix it now. But he watches adult content since who knows, because my mindset was everyone in my family was limiting their belief system and putting it on children. They put it on me, they put it on my children, they put it on their children, they put it on other family members, and they always say, oh well, no, people say, oh, they're too young for that. He's 8 months old. Oh, what's 0 to 8 months? Let's get 0 to 8 month toy, or 0 to 8 months clothes, or let's watch this TV show or this. I always call bullshit on that. And I always say that, I got my son a 4-year-old toy when he was born. And I didn't put any limitations, so when my spouse would say, let's get this toy, it's around his age, I said, no, let's get that toy, it's more advanced than his age. Do you want your son to be limited? Limited, is that even a word?
Maybe it doesn't exist.
Limited. Or do you want our child to be advanced? Do you want him to understand that there are no limitations? I said limited. I'm tired.
Yeah, he's tired.
But
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. Okay.
Limitation?
Yeah, limitation.
I'm the best. I'm the best. I coach him too, because sometimes he's
I learn so much from my children.
Yeah.
You can learn so much from children. I've learned so much from my daughter's 2 years old. She's literally like a 6-year-old girl. The way she talks, the way she dresses herself since last year, the middle of last year, she's been dressing herself, showering herself, brushing her own teeth, pouring her own milk, asking for her own coffee. My kids drink coffee. That's another paradigm. People,
right now I'm just drinking coffee.
People think the majority of the world say, oh, it's good, you better not drink coffee, or oh, you don't drink coffee, good, stay away from. Why are you saying that? Like, where did that come from in your mind? What knowledge, what doctor taught you that, or what parenting did you go through to follow these programs? And we're programmed, and we're speaking these programs over and over and over again.
Like,
my gosh.
Is it like they're
What's wrong with coffee?
Coffee, nothing's wrong with coffee. It's just coffee seeds. Just coffee seeds.
Coffee beans. Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy the way people put limitations just because of their programs. It's crazy.
Yeah, like also my auntie, she says, okay, she said, I just say, hey, could I have some coffee? And she says, and no, she just says, why? Do you drink it? And I say, yeah, I drink it. And like, she's just like, no, stay away from coffee. That's not good. And she says, having too much coffee beans is not good for you.
Okay, so then I challenge and I say, do you ask her? Ask her why, right? Speak up.
Yeah, and I say like, why? Why can't I have coffee?
You know what they say? Oh, because it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It stunts your growth. It'll mess around with the development of a child. But then I'm not ever rude or biased, or I'm not egotistic when I ask questions or I say the truth. So like I'll ask of like it's not a bad comparison, but I'll say, okay, so well, let's compare apples to apples. Okay. My son and your son, or your kid and my kid, and one doesn't drink coffee, that you say that's good, coffee's bad. Okay. And then look at the progression of your child. And then on the flip side, like, and I just give it an analogy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to hurt anybody, but it comes across because the truth can hurt people. but I'm just basically trying to prove, because proof is in the pudding, but they don't want to hear the truth, right? But it's, how else can you come across honest, but when they have confrontation in their soul, you can't change that, and they look frown upon you as if you're defiant, you have confrontation. That's the dilemma
Yeah,
there. It's crazy.
They're like,
It's all good. It's all good, but
the government. So
anyways,
Okay, fine.
it's society, it's
Yeah,
everything, it's
society.
programming,
they
It's-
program it. They program everything.
okay. Hold on, let's get our facts straight.
Yeah.
So when we are talking about the truth, you want to call out fact for fact. So I ask, okay, so that's fine, look, I don't want to come across in the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's another analogy? If someone says,
I'll be back.
mhm,
You can think while you're on the video.
yeah, and then I can edit out what I need to edit
Yeah,
out.
I'll just get more coffee.
If, let's say, somebody says books are the only way to gain knowledge and wisdom and become smart and intelligent, but I'm gonna admit right now, I don't want to be, and I want to be always a beginner and a student of life and learning and being around people who I can grow from, and not portray myself as being the best. And if I talk about something, if I come across a certain way, it doesn't mean I'm being egotistic, or I'm what most people look, with people who have a strong personality and speak with conviction, they automatically assume that they're not humble and they're egotistic, just because of the way they perceive me, for example. But luckily enough, I love my clients, and they don't see that in me, because they just want to see in themselves the unfolding, right? Because I'm constantly changing and unfolding myself. But okay, for example, books, there could be another kid that doesn't read any books, and you could see the advancement and the knowledge and wisdom in life in that kid. There's kids that are book smarts, and there's kids that are street smarts. And there's people who are just so intuitive and empathic. There's so many ways that people can have advancements in this world. So never judge a book by its cover, never judge people, and never pinpoint your opinions on other people. Okay. Non-judgmental. Try to be, don't drop anything. Like he gets it. Like, I am very dominant and
He's
strict
very open.
and
very,
open and
Yes.
loving and kind and trusting and caring, but I'm all things and no things at all. Like, I'm open to everything and attached to nothing. I'm very chameleon type. I'm not set in my ways. If I was one day and tomorrow I'm open to something else, I will change it. That's the type of person I am. So so the whole thing about this video is basically, I don't
He doesn't.
think that you can limit a child from the ages 0 to 7. I think if your kid is still 7 or beyond 7, you
Yeah.
still have hope, and you can still reprogram his subconscious mind or her subconscious mind, and there's a lot of hope. Don't believe in these videos and look at it with such a belief, like, oh my god, Oprah is saying that, Dr. So and so is saying that, oh my god, this is on the Jay Shetty podcast, it must be true. And just because someone is so humble enough not to contradict, because I never hear a contradiction to people, they're always humble and loving, which is fine, and I am too. But if I want to ask a question, be like, well, Oprah, for example, I'm gonna say, like, what if for example, you've gone through so much trauma beyond the age of 7, and now you're writing a book, co-authoring in a book saying that it's very important to program a mind from 0 to 7. That contradicts success. You can't limit success based on 0 to 7 years old. So get that through your head right now, that you're not limited to what you are today. Keep reprogramming your mind tomorrow and the day after and the day after.
Yes.
So for example, today, or when you turn 7,
Yeah.
you're not gonna, just
You're not
because
gonna
you
see-
watch TikToks and all these YouTube videos,
Yes.
that's not your limitation. Yes, I kind of watched it. I'm like, yeah, I want you to be watching podcasts every day like I do, or some documentaries every day,
Yeah.
to keep putting in your mind, to frame your mind at this age. And so it becomes who you're. No, you're unfolding. Life is unfolding. You're going to keep continuing to become something. So don't worry, don't stress, just keep developing your mind every day. Don't get stuck on all these TikToks and distractions every day of your life.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Whenever I wake up, I don't go on TikToks.
You do.
No.
Not right away.
No, not right away. But I wake up, and when I go in my sister's room, I want to give her a kiss and everything. And when I just come upstairs, I see her like laying down on her bed, iPad close to her eyes, watching TikToks. And I'm like, Anya, no. And I just take away the iPad, and she screams, and I say, okay, fine. But after maybe 5 more minutes, I'm taking away the iPad because you can't have any more TikToks in your head.
My daughter is 2 years old, and she is making TikToks already. She's so advanced. She observes, she knows what she likes, what she's interested in. She knows how to go, like any kid does, on Netflix and YouTube and pick their videos and search and click Siri or Alexa, play this, play that. See, they know how to, any child is capable and possible to create their destiny and their own karma and their purpose in life. And no one should frown upon a kid as being stuck on TikTok. And I also, feel that I don't want it either, but I reframe and I look like at how it's educating my daughter. Yes, too much airtime or too much screen time, I try to limit that as much as possible, but I look at the bright side. What are they gaining? How are they learning? Is this developing her? Is she advancing, or does she not have any common sense? There was a guy here, he was a builder for the new home builder, and he came, and he has no children. He's very smart into science and biology and all this technology, and he studies a lot. He's a super intelligent guy. And I was just not challenging him, but listening to him. And he was trying to tell, he didn't know about my parenting or about my children, but we brought up the conversation about TikTok and children. And he said that's very bad, and it can cause this cognitive dissonance where children grow up without common sense. And I had my time to share my opinion, and I said, that's not always necessarily true. Some children have a lot of common sense, and it doesn't hinder their common sense when they're on TikTok. It depends on how they're using it as a tool, as a resource. If they're allowing that device or TikTok to control and dictate their life, then that's a problem. But if they wake up, they're mindful, they know what they want to eat, they know what they want to drink, they have a total common sense, they're not babyish. She knows how to, my daughter changes her own pull-ups, her own diapers. Now she's in pull-ups. She does all that. I'm proud of her. Yes, she still pees and uses the pull-up, but I'm still super proud of her that she knows how to change herself, wipe herself, put lotion on herself, shower herself, brush her own teeth. That's all progress.
She knows how to. Whenever I wake up, she just says, "Oh, Baba, come." But
she's so loving and kind,
very loving.
And all children in the world have so much possibility. Today, while we were at on the field,
On the soccer field.
there were children dangling their hands and like awkward and going like this and playing. And when I started to coach and mentor and guide and discipline them and be hardcore with them and uplift them. So I sabotage and uplift. So sabotage doesn't have to be like, fuck you, you suck. No, sabotage is like, you could be better than that. Come on, let go of your arms, stop doing that, or I'm going to make you do push-ups, right? And then you shock their brainwave. And then you say, okay, great, you're doing awesome. See how much better you're doing? Oh my God, come on, you got it. Those are your opponents. Show them what you got. As soon as I started to do that, they were performing at the peak performance at where they didn't see themselves doing before. And their parents were just impressed.
Yeah.
From within a span of 10-minute exercises, from their children going like this and being all passive and, dilly daddling, to performance and hustling and bustling and doing push-ups. And I was like, okay, don't kick with your toes or you're going to do push-ups. Okay, who's going to do 5 push-ups? Come on. And then the other children were kind of challenging each other, and I leveraged the challenge to empower other children, and it was impressive. And people notice that, and we want to share with the world, right? We don't want to just be the only ones advancing, growing, and leading. Look,
Yeah.
I share everything, and I want people to understand that that's what guided intelligence is all about, is sharing the knowledge, wisdom, and information, leveraging everything that we can, not just trying to keep programs and teachings and certain costs and prices for yourself, for your own personal gains. Look, if I purchased a program, I'm sorry, Tony Robbins, if I purchase your program, I'm going to share it with the world. I'm going to give it for free. I'm sorry. And that's what I'm going to do with Mindvalley. That's what I'm going to do with Guide Intelligence. That's what I expect everybody to do. If one person buys my program and wants to share it with the world for free, share it with the world for free. And that's what's going to change. And that's what we're going to do. Yes, let's keep making the money, but let's keep giving away and letting the world be in harmony and unison. And that's the whole conscious awareness and the development that we want to express. If we want to, what we want to see in the world, the change we want to see in the world, and the way we see ourselves changed in the world is the way the world is going to perceive us, and we're going to reciprocate what the world wants to see in us and what we want to see out of the world. It's like a paradox. The things that we want to attract in the world want us as much as we want them, but the more focus we put on it, the less it comes to us. The less focus we put on it, the more it comes to us. It's all about balance. We need to bring peace and harmony and love and balance into our lives on a day-to-day basis. And what we want will want us, and it will come to us. But we can't lay down and beat ourselves up over what happened yesterday. We can't go to bed with our emotions inside. We got to detach and surrender and let that shit go. If I got in an argument with my partner, I got to detach, not go to sleep miserable and anxiety. That's not who we are. That's your inner child, a trauma that you went through that you didn't release, about your mom and dad and your ex, or your past relationship, or your relationship with your current partner, about past memories you guys went through that is still holding on strong, that you haven't let go of the resentment and the pain. That's why some people still go to sleep with emotions, anxiety, and want to break up and leave each other, and all these problems occur is because you haven't done your own personal inner work, and you're depending on your partner to change and change and change. So you change. It doesn't work that way. You change yourself for yourself. I know I like to share so much stuff and talk about so many different avenues. And when I do coach and people ask me specific questions, I stick to the topic. But when I'm just here like this, I dilly daddle. Sorry, I talk like so many things, but I hope it's making sense. That's just my personality. And you know what? If I went to the doctor, like parents usually take their kids early on, because I've been like this my entire life, they said I had ADHD. Did I listen? Did I take the medication? Did I let my parents dictate that? No. Do other parents do that for their children? Yes. Do they get self-diagnosed? Yes. That's what I say. Stop doing. stop thinking you are a problem. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with us.
The doctors are giving you the bad stuff. They're trying to make you worse.
Not all
and
doctors,
worse.
Baba.
Yeah,
See-
not all doctors.
See, listen, I say impactful things, but you gotta recognize that you're a smart kid, but you're trying to be loving and honest, right? But look, there are loving doctors out there, and you'll feel it when you see it. And when you go through the experience yourself, you're not gonna say it so directly. You've met loving doctors, right? You've met good, kind, generous doctors that understand about life and personal growth and don't want to medicate you and diagnose you. We know there are doctors like that. And we do know there's doctors out there that are just programmed and following the Medicare system, the contradiction system, the lie system, right? That's all they know, all they've been taught. And they just are happy making that day-to-day living. They haven't got out of the matrix.
Yes.
And speaking of Matrix, you haven't even watched Matrix yet.
Yeah,
You gotta understand what the Matrix means. What does the Matrix mean to you?
It means like there's glitches, glitch in the matrix. So like there's a lot of glitches in the matrix. I saw one.
Okay.
I saw one day an airplane just
Mhm.
in the sky just flying
Mhm.
so close. What?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you think glitches are just, you think Matrix is just glitches and airplanes being stagnant or hovering, or if you thought you saw a star, then maybe it's the UFO or satellites are sending signals. Yeah, it's not just that. Look, okay, this is more than that, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna come closer. Okay, so this is about tanned, eh? Okay, so this is about the system. Imagine me and mom left each other. Imagine, okay? Don't create the imagination, don't live in that, don't live from it. Like I teach, Neville Goddard teaches, when you visualize success and you want to manifest, live from it, be there like you already have it. But when you think of terminal suffering, don't do that. Okay, so I'm just saying, just if it did, okay, it's not whatever. Okay, whatever. If that happened, right, you would go through life on your own. You would grow up, you'd be whatever, and you'd be like what I went through, okay, which you don't want. So get that shit out of your head and manifest something different, okay, and live better and start disciplining and talking to us better and guiding us, okay? Okay, so now, for example, and I say that to him because when children see an argument, they think it's a fight. And they go quiet and they get in their mind. And I end up having to mentor and coach them through it. But the thing is, when you speak conviction and confidence into a child, where the child can not step in, but they can speak up and give their wisdom and knowledge and 2 cents, that's empowering a child. And that's what I'm telling him to do. Okay, I'm not trying to tell him that we're deficient in some type of way and he has to give us wisdom every day. That's not always the case, because I would not allow you to dictate always, right? But I do let him dictate sometimes. What was I saying
You were saying that like
about the Matrix?
no, you're saying if a kid gets in if parents get in an argument and kids see that they go in their mind, and you have to coach them out of it.
Right. But I spoke about that briefly. I was just
No.
wanting to get that mindset out there. That I'm done with that.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is basically about the Matrix. The Matrix, Baba, is not just what you think it is. It's so much more than what I even believe that it can be. And you have to learn every day, watch personal growth and do inner growth. Personal growth to me, see, I'm going off it, but I'll come back to the topic again, but I need to get this out there to you guys. Personal growth to me is not what most people think. See, I was coaching my stepdaughter, and she dropped the ball, and she thought personal growth was podcast documentaries and reading and doing all that stuff. Personal growth is inner growth.
Inner spirit.
Okay. So you have to do your inner growth, which is self-reflection, self-identity, self-image, self-love, self-respect, correcting things, changing. You got to love yourself, forgive yourself. You got to ask yourself how you feel. Respect your emotions, your thoughts and feelings, but know that they don't serve you and it is not who you are. Connect to your spirit. That's inner work, right? That's personal growth, inner work. Now, external work is like personal growth, like podcasts, documentaries, reading books, writing journals, and watching from stories and lectures and getting wisdom. But if you are so far gone and you have PTSD, anxiety, stress, depression, and self-sabotage, external personal growth is not going to do shit for you.
Yeah.
You have to do self-reflection work. Okay, so now getting back to the matrix, it's bigger than that. It's
matrix, then personal growth, matrix, personal growth, matrix.
So it's your teachers that whatever they say to you, teach you, talk to you, told you, how they influenced you. Whenever you've gone to a doctor with me, whenever you got your checkups, whenever you went for your allergy test, those are programs and paradigms and whatever it may be your beliefs, right? So if you went to one doctor for a test, for your allergen test, and you ask, oh, am I allergic to this? And they give you their opinion and you lock it in your mind. If you lock it in your mind, you're blocking yourself from more personal growth afterwards because you believed one person. But if you take it and observe,
and
don't absorb, observe, and you say, okay, maybe I'm going to get a second opinion. One day I'm going to meet another allergy person. They might teach me more stuff. Then you're unlocking your mind from an early age. Unlock your mind now. Don't lock it based on one police officer, one lawyer, one doctor, one judge, one podcast, one teacher, one dad. Yeah. You can learn from many dads. You know how many dads today you would get coached from another coach? Also, because you were doing Robbie, you were going around with different setups there, and there was different coaches. They're all parents. I'm not the only parent in the world that you should learn from. You can learn from everybody, right? You can learn from every child, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's part of the matrix. Get out of the matrix. That's your own matrix. Matrix is your mind that we put in as this closed circuit. And we get so locked up into this closed circuit that we think that's what everything is. But once you unleash and you want to discover the universe, you got to know who you are within to understand more of the universe. You have to understand inside of you first before you want to explore the universe.
You need to understand everything. Wait, I need to talk about like locking up everything. And I lock it up in my mind, I will not fit no personal growth into my mind. I won't try fitting it. But if I make room for the personal growth instead of all the things that I don't know. So it's kind of like
They'll come to you. You're doing good. No worries.
It's kind of like locking a bike up, but you lock it up in your mind. You lock a word in your mind, and I'll give an example. So like, I have 2 bikes. I lock them up every time I go inside, and I do that. I lock it up again, but in my mind. But that's a word. and it actually, like, whatever I don't know, and that's true, and that's actually personal growth, and my dad didn't tell me, then I wouldn't know that. So how can I do it? So, like,
Yeah, so you're saying,
oh yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know one, like,
I
whatever.
know.
I know. Yeah, but no, it's gonna be like something
Okay,
else,
okay.
but not personal growth. So, like, if I didn't know, like, if I went to a store and I didn't know what the owner said, like what the owner of the store said, he said, like, you can have this, you can have that, and I don't know that.
Get to the point. What are you
So
trying to teach?
you can go ahead and talk on the
No, you're doing fine. You were trying to just bounce off of what I was saying and trying to give teachings and stuff. So I cut him off sometimes and I give him opportunity to speak, and then I reframe his mind because he limits himself by thinking he knows the answer. And that's what he was trying to say. He locks his mind. And then if he did something wrong, then I unlock his mind and I try to coach him and teach him for him to understand better. But you do that to yourself. Whose problem is that? That's your own problem. So you have to stop thinking you know everything. And I think that your audience will admire you for failing. It's okay to fail and grow, but you have to humble and admit and say, okay, I'm messing up, or okay, you could take over. But no, you're modest about it, about accepting it, and that's great, because I never used to be, and now I am, where I can sit there in front of someone belittling me or trying to put me down, and it's like, that's on you. Where before, any form of talk with me was a form of attack. So if college students, friends were joking amongst themselves with me, I would take it as a personal attack and get offended, and it was crazy. I couldn't keep any friends. But what he's saying is basically, don't lock up your mind. Always ask and be open to seeing if you did something correctly or the right way the first time or the wrong way the first time. Don't think you're doing things the wrong way or right way. Just be open to everything and attached to nothing, and be a sponge and observe and absorb life as it goes. But don't lock it in too much where it becomes a paradigm and you're stuck with one emotional feeling and one emotional thought or a personal internal dialogue your entire life. Always look for expansion and growth. Always figure out and challenge yourself. Was I right? Was I wrong? If he's gonna watch something and pause and be like, no, my dad taught me something already, I already know, that's locking your mind. That's bad. Like, for example, on the field, you were there and the coach saw that your shin pads were on the outside of your socks. And you're like, oh, my dad, he's a coach and he's the best and he knows, and that's right. And when she told me, I'm like, no, that's wrong. It's supposed to be underneath. She's like, I know. But when I told you, you had to correct that. So now, next time when someone tells you something else, don't just right away believe you're wrong or you're right. Just observe and look at it for a second and look at everybody else and just observe. And then decide, well, you know what, be like, you know what, whatever. I'm different today. I want to have my shin cards outside. Or be like, yeah, you're right. Everyone is wearing it that way, but I don't want to change it now. I'm just going to keep it like this and just accept it. But don't be like, I'm right, and be in denial. That's being naive. When you're so naive and ignorant, then you become so egotistical and so away from wanting to grow and expand your mind. And it will take years for me to work with that type of person. And that's why I'm in a almost 10-year long relationship. No point intended.
I was like, so what he's trying to say
Is life is a work in progress. Don't sabotage everything every day. Just go through everything and keep releasing and correcting and trying to become better. You know, I'm gonna post. This is gonna be on your YouTube channel, or I could put it on mine too.
Yeah,
But
we can put it on both of ours if you can do that.
but I know we were kind of all over the place, but who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
And you know the thing, when people point things out, they tend to focus on that. So I said, oh, we're all over the place. So then there's gonna be a crowd of people that are judging and looking at, yeah, they're all over the place, blah, 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 critics.
Yeah.
And then there's people like, no, this was great. That's fine. We understand your personality or that whatever. Like we don't think like that. You know, those are those type of people, right? That's fine. That's good. So really, I have no place and time for fucking judgment. So I don't care what people think. And, you know, if you live your life based on the crowd and what other people think, that's not good. You know, just keep growing based on how you feel and think about yourself. And, you know, if you have followers for that, good. You have people who boo you for that, fine.
Mhm.
Who cares? And I used to allow that to dictate how I felt inside, and it got me starting to overthink how I'm gonna put things. I don't care anymore now.
But if you want to talk more, you can. I want to do the
I'm
end.
pretty good. End it.
Okay,
You
yeah.
can end it.
Yes, but don't end it yet.
Okay.
But so I want you to go on my channel, and you can find my dances. I just maybe have 3 or 4 videos of me dancing, but you can go search me. I can do one more video right now of me dancing, maybe like there with my dad.
He's a
recording.
performer. He loves that, which is
I can do like robot kind of ones.
I love
like,
that. I
like
push him
this.
to do that. That's fine. That's great. But don't just chase likes. And if you get 1 like or no likes or million
Yeah,
likes,
I don't.
it should not
It
make
should
an
not
effect.
affect you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to make videos to get likes, to make money, to do everything.
That's great.
All the other YouTubers,
Nothing's wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing's wrong with that. But I don't want to like chase likes. I just want to make videos because that's my personality. And like, yeah. So you can see my channel, go on each video that you want, see my dances. And yeah, so you can comment down below. Go to www.guidedaintelligence.me, and then I haven't made a name. I mean, no, it's Arnav Channels. Yes, you can visit me, Arnav Channels. And yeah, so comment down below, hit the bell, and I hope you give 5 million likes. If you don't, that's fine. And I hope you have a nice day, and God bless you. Bye.
Bye.